Today's Evening First Alert Weather Show is brought to you by Bresky Siding.
Very good Tuesday evening, Mid-Michigan. Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick with your Tuesday night update, recapping some of the wet weather that we have seen today and kind of where things stand as we head through the rest of tonight and the next couple of days. Currently expecting this to move out here over the next couple of hours. Seems like the radar's kind of lit up like a Christmas tree tonight. Lots of colors there. And like we talked about last night, while snow is not necessarily something that I think is completely unheard of tonight. If you watched the live stream last night, our model was projecting what appeared to be a little too much snow, and it seems like that was the case. And we've had mostly rain this afternoon and also this evening. Had some icy roads earlier this morning. Matthew Mondro told me that there were some districts closed early this morning, mainly up north, and then we had a couple of delays in the thumb as well, but seemed like most districts got to school today, except for a few, again, up north, seem to be primarily where the closings were. So if you have a question tonight, feel free to pop it in the chat. Not terribly exciting weather the next couple of days, so probably a shorter stream tonight compared to normal, which is okay, considering we've had plenty of active weather lately. While the radar is playing, I'm going to pull up some of the visibility values. The dense fog advisory for some of our counties right along I-69, Shiawassee, Genesee, and Lapeer. That dense fog advisory has now been lifted, so we are not currently seeing any of that dense fog at the moment. Seems like our visibilities are fluctuating between about a mile to 4 miles. And so we haven't gotten rid of the fog, but it seems like we're going to keep that around at least in less than dense terms over the next several hours here, but we're going to watch closely as we go through tonight. And if anything changes for the morning commute tomorrow, we'll be sure to let you know about it. So here's the fog projections that we do have. This is around midnight, seeing a lot of the values that we are currently seeing. But I will say, as we work through the next several hours going into the morning commute tomorrow, I would at least plan on the possibility that we could eventually see some areas drop and then go back up and then drop again, go back up. And that might vary from place to place as well. We just have a ton of moisture from some of the rain today. We have tons of moisture from some of the melting snow that's been ongoing. And we just don't have a lot of wind tonight. The wind is present. It's not completely calm. But we also don't have a ton to work with. And so I think it's possible at times as we head through the next several hours that we just see these numbers go back and forth a little bit. And I think it's possible that we have some trouble spots tomorrow morning too. They just may not be consistent, but that's okay. We'll take that any day of the week. Now, as far as your visibility in the afternoon, things get better. I think Wednesday will be an easier day to get through tomorrow. Do I expect a dramatically different day as far as the sunshine is concerned? Nope. I would expect a pretty cloudy day, especially to start. We may get lucky with a few breaks of sun towards the end of the day, but I don't think those will be around long if they even happen at all. These types of scenarios where you have a lot of moisture near the surface and then we get a brief area of high pressure tomorrow. Think of high pressure, it's sinking air. And so that sinking air kind of takes a lot of that moisture that's near the ground, and what it does is it kind of pushes down and it really prevents that air from rising. And if there's not a lot of wind, there's not a lot to kind of push that moisture upward and mix it through the rest of the atmosphere. So it's really tough when we've got situations like this with a ton of water near the ground and a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. It's really tough to clear out when you don't have something like a strong cold front coming through. And again, that high pressure just kind of keeps things trapped down below. And then I think Wednesday night into Thursday morning, we may have some locally dense fog to deal with as well. But if you notice, I will take back this timeline a little bit. That's 11 o'clock. And if you fast forward to 3, it seems almost like that fog is a little bit more progressive on Thursday. So maybe we don't have the dense fog advisories. Maybe we have at least a couple of hours of dense fog. But not necessarily to the point where an advisory is needed for that time. But if anything happens, we'll be sure to let you know. Wendy is our first question of the night. She is batting leadoff. Is it normal for January to go up and down with the temperature. Yeah, we always seem to have a couple of thaws each winter. I would say it seems like they're becoming more frequent. Just based on our ice the last several years, we haven't really had consistent ice on the Saginaw Bay for what feels like a while. I think we had a decent season, not last year, but the year before. But then the year before that was historically low. And we just never really got good ice on the Saginaw Bay, and that's usually a good indicator as to how much we're fluctuating, because it takes time, obviously, to build up that ice. And January is typically, I would say, probably more prone to stay cold than December lately, but you still have plenty of thaws in January too. So I don't think that's necessarily noteworthy that we're seeing some warmer temperatures now. But winter is one of the fastest warming seasons right now in Michigan over the last couple of decades. And for those of you who have noticed that, the question or the comment I get all the time when it comes to winter weather is, this is not like the 70s, or why aren't we like the 70s anymore? Why aren't we like the 80s? The type of snow that we get these days doesn't pile up nearly as much as it used to. And a lot of that, unfortunately, has a lot to do with the seasons around the Great Lakes when it comes to winter have been warming in recent history. So we can see those results, and thankfully last year it seemed like we had a little bit better of a winter than we had in a while, but still not our greatest winter. It seemed like last year was the first real good winter we've had in a while, and even then a lot of our numbers were just average. They weren't necessarily significantly below average. We didn't have significantly above average snowfall for the winter season. So those warm-ups that you see are certainly becoming more common. I remember, I think it was my first winter here at the TV station was one of the warmest or warmest winter on record. That was back in 2015 and 16. It didn't snow a lot that year, but it seemed like every time it did snow, we had a healthy amount of snow, and it was that heavy, wet snow almost every time. But again, that year it was pretty warm. Now, we can still get cold weather, of course, with a warming winter season, but you're seeing, again, a lot more variation with that. Here's your hour by hour. The radar tonight should eventually become a little bit cleaner as we head towards the morning hours. Seems like we've got one little quick hitting round of precipitation that may try to move through overnight. Could see a few snowflakes with that. Don't expect that to accumulate all that much. By tomorrow morning, it's pretty much gone. But you'll see throughout Wednesday, we just never really get rid of the cloud cover. And in the afternoon, it seems like we try to break up the skies a little bit. If you look towards Houghton Lake there, there's that small little opening in the sky, but I'm not optimistic that we see a ton of sun tomorrow. I've been burned by high pressure and melting snow and fog far too many times before to feel good about any sunshine chances tomorrow. I would love to be wrong on that, but gut feeling is we don't see a lot of sun tomorrow. If we fast forward into Thursday, we've got a dry start to Thursday. I think we may be able to sneak in a little sun Thursday before things cloud up. And then you'll notice Thursday night, we get some rain moving in on Thursday evening. Might be a little broken at first, but then we get a little push late Thursday into Friday. I think we might hear some rumbles of thunder late Thursday night into Friday. And then that moves out to wrap up the weekend. I think we get falling temperatures from morning to afternoon on Friday, the way things look right now. And tomorrow, middle to upper 30s. Jason and Lori, how will the roads be tomorrow after 11 a.m. in Ogemaw County? Well, I guess the question, Jason or Lori, whichever one of you is on, or if it's both of you, is what are your roads like right now? That would be my question, because by the time I got to the office this afternoon, everyone was pretty much above freezing. But if I pull up the traffic map, it does seem like you've still got at least a few slowdowns around Ogemaw County. So yeah, that's my question to you. Feel free to respond. But if I just look at the temperature projections around that time after 11, seems like you get above freezing. And with a drier day tomorrow, I'm sure the road crews will be out trying to catch up on anything that wasn't able to be treated today with the precipitation that was coming down. Richard, good to see you. But yeah, Jason, I would, if you're still slick, I would expect tomorrow to probably have a chance to be a little bit better, but it is definitely cooler up there. And you've had a bit more of a different situation than we've had in Saginaw today. So we'll see, but I think you have a chance to get up a little bit more above freezing tomorrow afternoon, and then even more so on Thursday. You should be able to get a little bit more above. Okay, so you're saying that you've heard roads are a sheet of ice. So let me just see what temperatures are doing in West Branch right now. Seems like we've got about 33. Ground temperatures could be a little bit colder, but we've also got, back roads and side streets that aren't treated as well. You can occasionally get some ice even with temperatures above freezing. So tough to say. If you're still icy tonight, my hope would be by the time you get to 11 o'clock and the precipitation stops tonight, you should be able to get above that freezing mark in conjunction with those road treatments, and hopefully things are a little bit better, but tough to say. But thanks for bringing that to my attention. Because, again, the traffic map only tells us so much. It's a helpful tool, but it's not 100%. So that's kind of what that looks like tonight. If I pull it back up, seems like right along M33. Seems like we've got some slowdowns. Main roads look okay for the most part, but, this doesn't include some of the less traveled roads. Let me see if, take a look at the observation site. Looks like you've got some unknown precipitation happening. So I'm almost wondering if there's maybe some freezing drizzle that's ongoing. Because it seems like the main batch of precipitation is moving out. So yeah, I would just be careful. My hope is that you can get there, but we'll see. Fast forwarding to the weekend, this will be kind of the last thing. A show really quick. Here's kind of how we're watching for Saturday. I think this is going to split the area, at least initially. This is Saturday morning. Fast forward to about Saturday late morning, early afternoon, and notice you've got kind of a northwest to southeast split over the area. There seems to be a likely round of wet weather this weekend. There's still going to be some movement ongoing with this storm system. There might be some shifts to the north and south, so we'll see what happens with that. But I think there's a decent chance we could see part of the area start with rain, part of the area get snow, depending on where that low pressure goes ultimately. But one thing that will happen on the backside, if it cuts right across the area, is we will get a little more rain Saturday afternoon, and then it will start to circle back around. And some of that cold air will kind of wrap around the back of that system and filter in everywhere else, and that will gradually change any remaining precipitation into Sunday back over to snow. And so we've got some warmer temperatures the next couple of days. We're back to the 40s by Thursday, and we start in the 40s on Friday. But then as we head towards the weekend, you see that 38 Saturday. And then we drop off to 30 on Sunday. So winter does come back. We're not going to spend every day in the 40s, but still even 35, 36 early next week is considered to be above average. So that's kind of how things are looking here in the extended. So not a ton of questions tonight. That's okay. Like I mentioned, tomorrow's one of the less exciting days of the week. We'll have some rain to talk about Thursday and Friday. Some falling temperatures likely Friday, and another system as we get closer to Saturday will likely have some snowfall maps potentially later this week, assuming there's no big changes with that system, if it's still projected to go where it's going. So if there's no more questions, I will end the stream there, and I'll take a look at some of the comments afterward just to see if anyone finds this late. But otherwise, have a wonderful night. Appreciate you all joining as usual, and we will see you next time.